we're in this first segment, we're going to talk about some of the problems, foreign and domestic. Second segment, we'll talk about some solutions. And the third segment, we'll just talk about what gives us hope and what we should be hopeful for.
Sounds good.
All right, so segment one, problems foreign and domestic. Where do you want to start? I have a question. Sam Faddis, do you know Sam Faddis, former CIA director, friend of Frank Gaffney?
Yeah.
Not director, former CIA operative. He says President Biden is a controlled CCP asset, and he uses the term controlled very specifically. What are your thoughts?
See, I don't know that you can control a man that doesn't have all his marbles. So,
oh, wow.
So, but they have a very friendly person, very friendly to what China wants, and CCP, because the CCP is China for
right.
leadership purposes. I had a daughter that lived over there for about 5 years. I'd visited her. I've traveled around China. There are wonderful, wonderful people there.
The people are great, yes.
But the Chinese Communist Party, make no mistake, they would like to see America gone, just like Putin would. So to have a president that is leaning toward whatever it is China wants is just dangerous for this country. So I don't know if I'd say controlled, but he is certainly extremely sympathetic to at least not wanting to upset China.
Why is that? Is that because the laptop would tell us that the family's gotten a lot of money? Do they have something on him? Why do you think it is?
Well, we don't need the laptop to tell us that they've gotten a lot of money from China. And let's face it, large money doesn't go from China to an American without the Chinese Communist Party's okay. Just like you can't have somebody own a big shipbuilding company if they've made the CCP mad. So there are people in both parties that are very sensitive to what would make the Chinese Communist Party mad. And Biden is one of the most sympathetic. And it's doing immense damage to this country.
This sounds like the Peter Schweitzer book, where he talks about how they've bought, and they've bought on both sides.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, one of your former colleagues, John Boehner, seems to have some connections there, and others that Schweitzer's talked about. So Republicans can be just as guilty, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And you know, there's no one more engaging, intelligent, pleasant to talk to than Mitch McConnell's wife, you know, cabinet member. And she is just delightful, but she has a father that has a big interest or controls a shipbuilding company. And it is, and Schweitzer goes into all that. But I've not always been very complimentary of Mitch McConnell. After the first impeachment, I thought Mitch had handled it very well. And I'd spent a lot of time down there in the Senate chamber watching what was going on. And so when it was over, I was walking out of the Senate chamber down the hall and just so happened to merge with Mitch McConnell. And I said, and you know, he has his head down walking, and I said, you've done a really good job of handling this impeachment. You haven't ever been very complimentary of me before. And I said, well, just call them like I see them. I think you did good on the first one, not as good on the second. But